Hello friends, welcome to 10 out of 10 Smart Biology. In this video lecture, we will discuss a very important phenomena that occurs within the females of humans and that after parturition, after childbirth, that is called as lactation. That's called as lactation. So, in this video lecture, we'll be discussing the process of lactation. Lactation, what does lactation mean? Lactation का क्या मतलब होता है? Lactation means production, formation, secretion and ejection of milk from the mammary glands of the female human females, okay, or mother. So production, secretion and ejection of milk after parturition from the mammary glands of the female is called as lactation. Now this lactation, in human females, it takes place after parturition, after childbirth. Lactation is under the control of both nervous system and hormones, and the process of lactation, okay, the hormones which are responsible for this lactation are present even before childbirth as well, but those hormones do not function or they do not produce their effect because of certain inhibitory factors like estrogen, like progesterone and some other factors. Now we must remember that the process of lactation, that is the secretion, production and ejection of milk, is under nervous control and it is under the control of hormones. Let's now start. We will discuss this phenomena under two heads. First will be formation of milk and second will be ejection of milk or milk let down. Now let us see how is milk formed and when it is formed. See what happens when the baby is delivered. When the baby is delivered and gestation ends, what happens? Prolactin from the anterior pituitary is secreted in larger concentration, in larger amounts. जब prolactin secrete होता है from anterior pituitary, ये prolactin hormone जो है, it goes to alveoli of mammary glands. Here we will recall the structure of mammary glands, that the mammary glands is made up of some 15 to 20 those lactiferous lobules, and each lobule in turn is made up of grape-like bunches of structures. Those structures are called alveoli. These are the milk secreting units of the mammary glands. So these alveoli, they start producing milk, they start making milk, manufacturing milk under the influence of the hormone prolactin. When prolactin, okay, prolactin pregnancy में भी secrete होता है, लेकिन उस time progesterone और estrogen इस prolactin को inhibit करते हैं. That's why during pregnancy or in virgin females mammary gland से milk नहीं निकलता. लेकिन एक बार pregnancy हो गई, एक बार parturition हो गया, चाइल्ड बर्थ हो गया, so now the concentration of progesterone and estrogen it falls to zero, almost nothing, almost nil. So जब progesterone and estrogen नहीं है, prolactin it begins to show its effect. It goes to the alveoli and alveoli begins to make and manufacture milk. This manufacturing of milk, this formation of milk is called as lactogenesis. This is called as lactogenesis. Now this formation of milk is not only under the control of this prolactin, it's also under the control of the nervous system. See how जो mammary gland का nipple होता है, nipple के अंदर होते हैं citrate receptors. When the baby suckles, when the baby begins to suck milk, when the baby begins to suck this nipple के अंदर जो citrate receptors होते हैं, ये citrate receptors क्या काम करते हैं? ये hypothalamus को stimulate करते हैं, और hypothalamus जब इस चीज को experience करता है तो hypothalamus क्या करता है? Hypothalamus inhibits PIH. hypothalamus अब PIH prolactin inhibiting hormone को secrete नहीं करता. When baby begins to suckle the nipple, okay, this reflex goes to the hypothalamus and the hypothalamus stops the secretion of PIH, prolactin inhibiting hormone. In contrast, what happens? The hypothalamus secretes PRH, prolactin releasing hormone. ये prolactin releasing hormone it goes to anterior pituitary और anterior pituitary से क्या आएगा? Prolactin. और ज़्यादा इससे पहले भी prolactin secrete होता है, लेकिन suckling से the secretion of prolactin increases manifold. जब बहुत सारा prolactin आता है, the alveoli begin to manufacture more and more milk. That's why the size of the breast also increases. Okay, so prolactin it stimulates the formation of PRH and PRH goes to alveoli and milk begins to be manufactured. This formation of milk is called as lactogenesis. Not only that, it's also under the psychological, emotional control. See how when the baby cries, it is also under emotional control. When the baby cries, crying of baby is also received by the body of the mother, by the nervous system of the mother. The nervous system of the mother, okay, it receives those cries of the baby, and those cries of the baby, they stimulate the hypothalamus now again secretes PRH, and PRH again stimulates anterior pituitary to secrete PRL, prolactin hormone. Then prolactin hormone goes to alveoli, and the process begins again. So we see that the formation of milk is under two controls: nervous control, neuroendocrine control, emotional control, and hormonal control. So there is one more term called as galactogenesis. We discussed one term, that is lactogenesis, formation of milk. There is another term called as galactogenesis, another process called galactogenesis. Milk का बनना हो गया lactogenesis. Now ये milk बनना ही नहीं, the process of lactogenesis should be maintained. This maintenance of lactogenesis, continuous maintenance of lactogenesis रुकना नहीं चाहिए. This continuous maintenance of lactogenesis is called as galactogenesis, and this galactogenesis is maintained by cortisol, thyroxine and growth hormone. 3 हार्मोन्स है जो galactogenesis को ensure करते हैं. कौन कौन है? Cortisol, thyroxine and growth hormone. These 3 hormones, they ensure, they make it sure that the process of lactogenesis continues, and this maintenance is called as galactogenesis. So as such, first phase of the milk, this lactation is complete. Then let's come to the second step, that is ejection of milk or milk letdown. Milk is formed now. How does milk come out of the mammary glands? किस तरह से ये mammary gland से बाहर आता है? Again, this process under hormonal control as well as nervous control. See, when the baby begins to suck, the suckling of baby, इस nipple में जहां पर stretch receptors होते हैं, at the same time इस nipple के अंदर touch receptors भी होते हैं, touch receptors. As soon as the lips of the baby touch the nipple, okay, a reflex is initiated. A reflex is initiated. That reflex, that nervous action, that nerve impulse is initiated. उस nerve impulse को कहते हैं milk ejection reflex. So as soon as the baby begins to suck, as soon as the lips of the baby touch the nipple, the touch receptors, okay, the touch receptors, thigmoreceptors in the nipple, they initiate a nerve impulse. That nerve impulse is called milk ejection reflex. This milk ejection reflex, it goes to the hypothalamus. Hypothalamus ने जब इसको receive किया, hypothalamus secretes oxytocin. ये oxytocin जिसको milk ejecting hormone भी कहते हैं, ये oxytocin पहले store होता है posterior pituitary में. Now posterior pituitary से oxytocin is released, and this oxytocin goes to the myoepithelial cells of alveoli, myoepithelial cells of the mammary glands. Mammary glands में जो alveoli होते हैं, उसकी जो epithelial, myoepithelial cells होती है, muscular cells होती है. This oxytocin, it stimulates these myoepithelial cells to contract. जब myoepithelial cells contract करती है, what happens? The milk is squeezed out, milk is pushed out, milk बाहर आता है, and milk comes out through the lactiferous ducts which open on the nipple. इस तरह से milk जो है eject होता है. Fine? Okay, you got it. Now, जो mother का पहला milk होता है, वो पहला मिल्क जो होता है वो थिक होता है, डेंस होता है, गाढ़ा होता है, एंड इट इज थिक, इट इज येलो एज वेल, पेल येलो, एंड इट इज क्लाउडी इन एप्पल, बहुत गाढ़ा होता है. दिस thick and pale yellow milk of first milk of mother is called as colostrum. It's called as colostrum, and it is very, very important for the baby because this milk contains a very important component called as antibody. Called as antibody, secretory antibody. Now ये जो colostrum होता है इसमें फैट नेग्लिजिबल, इसमें फैट बहुत ज्यादा नहीं होता, ऑलमोस्ट नेग्लिजिबल, कुछ बहुत कम होता है. इसमें सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट चीज जो होती है वो होती है एक एंटीबॉडी, एक इम्यूनोग्लोबुलिन, दैट इज कॉल्ड IgA, और इज ऑल्सो कॉल्ड एज सिक्रीटरी एंटीबॉडी. सिक्रीटरी एंटीबॉडी ये हमारी बॉडी की जो भी सिक्रीशंस हैं, आई ड्रॉप्स, टीयर्स निकलते हैं उसमें होता है, सलाइवा में होता है, और मिल्क में भी होता है आईजी सिक्रीटरी एंटीबॉडी. नाउ ये सिक्रीटरी एंटीबॉडी, IgA एंटीबॉडी, जब विद हेल्प ऑफ मिल्क, थ्रू मिल्क फीटस की बॉडी में पहुंचता है, What is the benefit? It gives immunity. It gives passive immunity. It gives passive immunity to the fetus, to the baby. अब baby जो है वो disease से protected रहता है. This gives protection to the baby from various kinds of disease. So this colostrum is very very important. Then normal milk जो है mother का, what is the composition of normal milk? Normal milk is rich in proteins. Okay, normal milk is rich in proteins, and the protein is casein. Milk protein is casein, is rich in protein. Second, the milk also contains carbohydrate, and the carbohydrate present in milk is called as lactose. There is a lot of lactose present within the milk. Then it also contains minerals, chief among them being calcium and iron. Milk के अंदर calcium और iron बहुत ज़्यादा quantity में होते हैं. And it's also rich in fats. Milk is also rich in fats. So we see milk is a complete diet for baby. That's why doctors recommend mother's milk to the baby for say not only 6 months, more than for a year or more than that as well, because this is a complete diet for the baby. And it also contains lysozymes, okay, those antibacterial agents besides containing IgA. Nursing mother, okay, can produce 1.5 to 2 liters of milk per day. So we see that how the process of lactation takes place in the nursing mothers. Thank you very much.